Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. We are in the first of a series of interviews with the candidates of the 15th Mr. International. And this afternoon, we are here at Trip by Wyndham, our favorite hotel, of course, and official residence of the 15th Mr. International here while we're in Manila. We have our first batch of four candidates with us right now, and we will be talking to them one by one. Let's see if I can maybe find what makes them tick as individuals and bring out the fun in each one of them. So, without further ado, let me ask you, each one of them to introduce themselves to you, starting with lifting pineapples.
Gasser. I am from the United States, specifically from Hawaii. Um, Such a great opportunity to be here and my second pageant. I look forward to meeting everybody, all the other contestants when they get here. Um, yeah.
Hola. Hello, I'm Brandon Align. I'm from Cuba. My families were both born in Cuba, and I was born in Miami. I am a recording artist and a growth strategist, and I am extremely excited for this opportunity, not only just being able to connect with international brothers, but also just to let out all the gifts, the talents, and the skills that all of us have, and to be in one space, and it's a great environment for growth.
こんにちは. Hello, I'm Takumi Ozawa from Japan. Sorry, my English is not perfect, but I'm gonna try to speak in English. Actually, I used to work as an engineer in Japan, but now I have own business, such as a hotel or hotel and fitness gyms. So when I was when I was working as an engineer, I often came to the Philippines for business trips. So I know about the Philippines more than other countries. So I'm so excited to come back here again. So I want to enjoy with new friends. Thank you so much.
Hey Philippines, yeah, doing. I am Michael Watson, Mr. International Jamaica, and I reign from the parish of St. Catherine, specifically Spanish Town, Jamaica. And since I've been here, I've been exploring the country just a little bit, and based on what I've seen, it's a beautiful country so far.
All right. We see a side of them that I haven't seen before. Well, for live purposes, I need to say that. But let's start our question with Tammy here. Tammy, this is your very first trip outside of Jamaica, and you need to travel almost 2 days just to get here in the Philippines. Before coming here, what visions or how do you visualize the Philippines inside your head before you actually arrived here in the Philippines, in Manila?
I didn't actually have any visualizations of the Philippines before I came here. I had an open mind about what I came to experience, and based on what I've seen so far, it's really great.
Takumi, you are an engineer? Engineer? What kind?
I was working in like a Toyota, and I was in charge of the quality assurance.
Oh, so are you a mechanical engineer? Oh, but now you don't practice engineering anymore.
I don't anymore. I just
Mm-hmm.
stopped working and I start my own business.
What's your own business now?
I own the fitness gym and I also own like a small hotel in my city.
Oh my God, you are a rich guy.
Not a rich,
You own a gym and a hotel?
but small one, not like this hotel.
So when I go to Osaka and I stay in your hotel, will you give me discount?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
But it's far from Osaka.
Oh, but is it near the convenience store? Yeah.
Very far.
All right. Brandon, you are a social media influencer.
Yes.
Do you find it challenging to, do you find it challenging to actually maintain a certain image, persona to your followers?
So the cool thing about social media is you have stories and then you have posts. And one of my biggest things is I use my stories to connect with my audience, and then the post is kind of for like it's like the billboard for everybody. What I like about the stories is people see what I'm eating, they see the workout I'm doing. It's kind of the people who want to have like a look-see into your life. Now, the part that does get challenging is when a brand is like, hey, can you make a video for this? Because it's like you don't always, like, for instance, I did a campaign for a whiskey commercial, and they wanted a certain kind of vibe from it. You know, if I have whiskey, it's just a glass and you drink it. But this, they wanted something very tailored. That can get very stressful, but to just kind of show up online, it's really not that stressful. And one of the things I've learned is a lot of people feel very lonely. So when you show them yourselves and you connect with them, they feel like they're a part of your world. It actually makes them feel like they have a new friend online. So.
It's kind of long, huh? He really has a lot of things to share. Yeah, I like it. Anthony, what is the best thing about growing up in Hawaii?
I think the best thing about growing up in Hawaii is the beaches, the food, and the culture. Um, if you have seen Maui, what happened is Lahaina got destroyed. Within hours, the whole community rallied up and were able to pack up a lot of shipments and things that people needed in Maui within 2 days. So that even outbeat the government in supplying the need for the people. So like, if you ever need anything in Hawaii, you just you just knock on the door next door to your house, and you'll get that kind of culture, that aloha, that vibe. Because Hawaii is so small, everybody knows everybody.
You know, one thing I can maybe say about Hawaii is it also has a very large Filipino population, right? So, which means that somehow the Filipino culture has also rubbed in a lot of the locals there. Would you agree?
Yes.
What is the most Filipino thing about you in terms of practices and the like? This is a question especially for you.
What is the most Filipino thing about me? I would say the food. Like I'm really good with eating Filipino food, and because Hawaii is it's like a mixing pot because of all the plantation owners that got together in like I think the 80 19 late 1980s, early 1900s. A lot of culture was mixed into all of that. So being part of the Filipino culture has allowed me to connect with food, and food is very big there. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, coming from someone whose name is lifting pineapples, then, well, that's very Filipino because pineapples are something abundant in this island.
So the name Lifting Pineapples actually comes from the plantation farmers. So the name actually came from the businessmen, specifically Dole. He created a plantation in Wahiwa because of the fertile, rich soil that Hawaii has. So during that time, a lot of plantation owners were able to sell a lot of pineapples. So that's kind of where that all came from.
It's nice. At least, because if not for that explanation, I would think that lifting pineapples means like instead of having weights or barbells, you'd actually be lifting pineapples.
So picking pineapples came from a stretch um, that you would learn if you played any sport in Hawaii. You would do a stretch called picking pineapples. It's similar to cherry picking. So if you're from Hawaii and you grew up playing sports, the exercise picking pineapples would be in pretty much every PE, every physical education program. So I have a passion for lifting weights and working out. So I switched it to lifting pineapples. So that's how that came from.
Okay, now I know the complete story behind lifting pineapples. Brandon, You grew up in Miami, were born in Miami to Cuban parents. What would be your fondest memories of like a mix of both Cuban and Miami influences?
So definitely Christmas Eve. I know that here in the Philippines, you guys have a lechon. Back in Miami, we have this thing called the kahachina, where we cook a pig, an entire pig out there, and we eat the whole thing. And then the next day, we'll have like the pig skin, so like the chicharron the next day. But definitely being able to have the congri, the plantains, the Spanish music, salsa music, merengue. We learned that from the first time you can even start walking, they start teaching you to move your hips along with it. So you already know salsa and merengue.
Those are shoulders.
Yeah, well, your hips and your shoulders. You gotta.
I can't see the hips.
You do. So it's definitely a beautiful thing. I mean, there's a lot of parts of Miami, like there's a little Havana where it's literally a glimpse of Cuba right there. And there's certain restaurants, there's Cuban restaurants that everyone who's there, from the chef to the waiters, everybody is Cuban. So when my family came from Cuba, my grandparents actually, my grandmother never even had to learn English because there's parts of Miami that are so culturalized in Spanish that she literally still feels like she's in Cuba.
Very nice. Very nice. I like it. I like it so far. Takumi, I'm trying to give you a tailor-made question. You own a gym and a hotel, so you are practically a businessman. You're a businessman. Is it hard? What is the hardest thing about running a gym, running a gym, and a hotel for that matter?
It's quite difficult question, but I think the combination of the hotel and gym is quite good. I think so. It's not so hard for me because my customers use the hotel and the gym also. So it's better for the customer. I don't know how to say. Sorry, I don't know how to say, but
No, it's perfectly fine.
for me, it's not so hard for me. Actually, the engineer was more hard for me. So so now it's my life is much better.
I would think that since your guests in the hotel are mostly gym members, then you don't have guests who are out of shape, right? I think that way. It's logic. Tammy, I've always been fascinated about Jamaica ever since. I haven't been to the Caribbean because I haven't been to the Caribbean. I have not visited yet because I've always thought that, hey, the weather in the Caribbean is just like the Philippines. If I go there, then it's also going to be hot and humid. But of course, you are near the water. You're surrounded by water and everything. So, what's the coolest thing about being born and raised in Jamaica?
Oh, that's actually a pretty easy question. The coolest thing about being born in Jamaica is genuinely being Jamaican. I mean, when you're born, it's not like you're implanted with vibes, but as you grow with the culture, you grow, you see the warmth around you. Actually, the climate isn't the only thing that's warm; it's the people as well. So it's like you see the warmth, you feel the warmth, and it's always just laughs and good vibes in Jamaica most of the time.
Okay, now let's turn a little more serious. I'll ask a question that's common for all four of you. So I'm going to ask Takumi last so that he can maybe process his answer first. The tagline of Mr. International is hashtag distinctively handsome. When those two words are combined, what comes to your mind? Like, what do you think it reflects on you? What makes you a distinctively handsome individual? Anthony?
Like I said before, Hawaii is a multicultural hotspot for many different cultures. So, being distinctively handsome, I believe, Um, because I have a very mixed race. I have Hawaiian, Filipino, I'm Creole. I got a little bit of Eurasian inside my blood as well. So I am in the middle of the colonizer and slave blood. So I have both DNA. So being distinctively handsome also um, ties into a lot of different cultures. So I think that's where it's at.
I would say distinctively handsome has a lot to do with the essence of the soul because it's what's inside of us is what manifests out of us, but also the level of excellence because a man could very easily not choose to wake up and do his hair, not choose to groom his beard, not choose to iron his shirt. And what really makes someone distinctive is their effort. So it's the difference of the confidence, the essence, the power that they have within them, and also the joy that they have in life because I really think charisma is what makes a man distinctively handsome. If you're walking into a place and you're stuck up and yeah, you look good, but you're not connecting with the crowd, you're not really going to be that distinctively handsome. You're going to be that jerk. So when you just let everything out, but you honestly just be that little boy that you have inside that always wanted to be that superhero, that's the most handsome self that you could actually be.
Thank you. Tammy first. Tammy first. Takumi, you answer last.
All right, cool. Okay, so distinctively handsome to me means it doesn't mean just the physical characteristics, but also how you present whatever you have that you're working with. So for me, distinctively handsome means how you carry yourself and what's on the inside that makes you distinctive, right? For instance, charm. Tito here has a whole lot of charm. And for me, Tito is an example of being distinctively handsome. If I was competing against him, I would be definitely worried.
Oh, it's quite complicated question for me, but I think it's a man who can challenge new things. But even if they got some difficulties, they don't give up and just keep trying to get a success. I think this guy is distinctly handsome. Thank you.
Takumi, say something in Nihongo for that question. So, because we
Ah.
might have people who understand your
Okay.
language. So you give your answer in Nihongo
あ
also.
日本語わかりました。僕が思う、かっこいいと思う男性っていうのはやっぱりその外見的なところだけじゃなくて、内面がすごく充実している人かなっていうふうに思います。で、その内面っていうのはやっぱりそのやっぱりなんか新しいことにチャレンジし続ける、その周りがどうこう言うとかそういうことじゃなくて、自分の意思をしっかり持って自分が正しいと思った道を突き進む人がかっこいい人かなっていうふうに思っています。はい。Thank you.
どうもありがとう。Okay, before we promote the Mr. International, this is my last question. And this is something that I just thought of asking, spur of the moment. Mr. International has a new, it's like a new mission statement. And it goes like this: Mr. International empowers men to inspire the next generation. So, Mr. International empowers men to inspire the next generation. So, this is my question. What will you inspire the next generation on specifically?
I think specifically is getting in touch with your culture because within culture you have values that allow you to be a stable human being. So when you connect with where your DNA comes from, you connect with a lot of the trauma and the history, and then you heal that trauma, and then you come back and sorry, there's a fly on my face.
They love you.
So when you're able to connect with your culture, heal the trauma, and continue to live the values that your culture continues to, the values that your culture has, as well as connecting to the environment, the foods, and basically that.
Brandon?
One thing that I believe that needs to pass on to the next generation is education on growth, but also education on grooming. I feel A lot of times as men, we're not taught like how to shave or how to style your hair, how to use a blow dryer. I learned that through pageantry. It wasn't until like later on in life that I actually even learned how to use a blow dryer. And a lot of men have these desires to go to castings, to be in pageants, and they don't even know what their suit should look like when it's tailored, how to show up on social media, what it is to have that presence. So I think a big part of passing it on is a lot of male grooming and styling tips, but then also a growth mindset. The belief that whatever your circumstances today doesn't need to be that for the next 5 years. And if you want your life to change, it's not going to change by chance, it's going to change by the choices that you make. So giving people the option to believe in the growth and being the example of growth is a big way to pass on the legacy to the next generation.
Takumi?
Sorry, I couldn't catch your question. So could you say again, please, for me?
Yeah. The new mission statement or mission
Mhm.
vision of Mr. International is to empower men, meaning to give you the power to inspire
Mhm.
the young ones, the next generation.
Mhm.
How will you inspire the next
Oh,
generation?
mm, okay, I understand. Actually, there is no Japanese who got the title of Mr. International yet. So I believe, if I could get the title of Mr. International, it will be possible to affect to the young generations. So I think that this opportunity is a really important for me. Thank you.
Tammy?
Hey again. Inspiring the next generation. How I inspire the next generation is that I have actually created a platform called The Statement. What that stands for is the state of men's mental health. The T stands for talk, which is exactly what we do. We share our thoughts, our feelings, our experiences, and as well as our struggles with our daily lives. Oftentimes, when we think about the emotional intelligence of men, we think that they should just be strong all on their own. But what the statement does, it provides a space where they can know that, hey, you have a shoulder to lean on, as well as you're not alone, because we're all going through similar, if not the same thing.
Thank you. So this is just a quick question. So you don't think of your answer, just the first thing that enters your head. What is that thing that you are most looking forward to in the next 2 weeks?
Honestly, I'm excited to check out the provinces. That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to check out more of the culture of the Filipino culture. I'm excited to see eat more food. I like to eat, so it's one of them.
Brandon?
Honestly, I've competed in several pageants before, and I realized that I was never in the present. I was always like focused on the goal in mind. And this time, I'm really excited to just be in the present, to meet everybody, to experience everything, and to breathe in all the experiences. Because so many things happen, like today, so many photo shoots and everything, and we can miss moments. So I'm really excited for this time to just be in the present and breathe in this entire experience for the next 14 days.
Takumi? What are you most excited about?
Um, Actually, I also tried the many pageant before, and this is my second time to join the international pageant. So uh, I'm looking forward to having new friends like them. I want to get a lot of new knowledge about the culture or different things. So I'm so excited to that.
And Tammy?
Alongside the food, I'm actually looking forward to learning a bit more about the language and the things that you guys say, because it's rather interesting,
What?
the language.
Can you?
I just only know like one word, and it's mabuhay, and that's like hello, right?
Yeah, like welcome, mabuhay.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Don't worry, I'll teach you more. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So now we're in the final part where each one of you will just um, um, ask for the support of everyone in Europe for Mr. International. You can share your social media pages as well so that they can follow you and everything.
You can follow me at Mr. Anthony 2023.
Okay, so I have a couple platforms. um, King Brandon Align, so KINGBRAN9 as well. Thank you.
Takumi?
I usually use only Instagram, and my account is OZW underbar wizard WIZARD. Thank you.
I also only use Instagram, and my handle is Tamichael X. So that's my name and an X at the end. Let me spell it for you guys. It's TAMICHAEL and an X at the end. X represents the unknown.
X Factor?
No, it's more like a mathematical term, like in algebra, where you have an X.
Or like Twitter? No, but Twitter is now X.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right. But you know, I already taught you an easier way to explain your name. It's like Tamara, remove the Mara and put Michael. You
Yeah.
come up with Tamichael.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly how it is. That's how my parents name me. My mom's name is Tamar, and my dad's name is Michael, and they just put it together, and you got Tamichael.
so that explains. Now I know. Guys, please expect more grand events for Mr. International within the next 2 weeks. We're only spending today until Tuesday here at Trip by Wyndham because of their photo shoots and TV guestings. And come Tuesday, midday Tuesday, we're going to our first stop in our provincial tour. We'll be going somewhere up north. That excites me because the last time I was there, um, I met someone that made me learn how to surf. Yeah. And then after that, we'll be going to the coldest city in the Philippines, and that excites me because I love wearing cuddle weather outfits. Yeah, because I'm so tired of always having sweaters and not having to wear them. Our preliminary competition will be on October 16. October 16 in La Union, and then our finals will be in Baguio City on October 20. So you have to watch out for it because it's going to be exciting. Actually, I'm excited for everyone. And they're also excited that I'm going to be with them because I'm such a fun person to be with. Modesty aside, of course. But watch out for the second leg of our interviews with the Mr. International candidates. I'm not sure how I will do it with a lineup of Latinos who speak predominantly Spanish language because my Spanish fluency is un poquito, and very, very little. But we're excited because there are still candidates coming in tonight. Actually, I think um, Nepal and Nigeria will be arriving tonight. But tomorrow, there's a big group that will arrive tomorrow. Watch out for that. So this is your host, Tito Norman. And thank you for tuning in to us. I hope we gather so many likes and supports for this one. Please send your stars. Send some my way because I know how to deal with stars at this point in my life. So thank you so much. And guys, please give them a big wave. Bye bye, everyone. See you again soon. Yeah.